Here in his studio, which he likes to call, I just called myself in the third person, I like to call the sports barn. Where are we? We guess we're going to recap this mediocre weekend and, give you a Monday Night Football pick. I don't know, I had a not very good weekend. College football sucked on Saturday. Sunday was an okay NFL day. It was okay. Well, I guess we did okay. And I don't know, I'm just starting to, feel, it seems like every time something happens bad in my little life that I can link directly to the virus, then I get sad, and it's like, God damn, this is never going to end. I wanted to see the Bears game on Sunday, which was, when I handicapped it on Thursday, was at 1 o'clock. It was at 1 o'clock. And somehow it escaped my attention that the NFL changed the time on the game. I guess after they decided to postpone the Patriots game, and they then decided, well, we'll move the Bears. I guess we'll move this Bears game with no fans to 4:30. It just didn't. I didn't get the notice. I'm watching college football largely all day Saturday, not all day, but I watched a good portion of the day, and ESPN didn't report it. Just escaped my notice. I took the wife, we went over to Lancaster County to a BW3's over there, and it's almost 1 o'clock, and it's like, where's the Bears game? I see all these other games, but, it's a pretty big game here. The undefeated Bears against the one-loss Colts, where is it? And then we were informed by the internet that it was at 4:25, and, my wife's looking at me like, and she actually was pretty good about it. I think she's just happy to get out of the house, and as she said, not have to cook. Sunday's generally a day she cooks, so she didn't cook that day. We watched, a round of wings worth of football that we didn't care about, and then went home. And I thought to myself, this would never have happened in a normal year. I would never drive, 90 minutes both ways out of my way to see a game that ain't on, except for this goddamn virus. I mean, I'm so over this, and and then while I'm sitting there watching the games, and here comes a commercial on I've never seen before, which is rare. Usually, they produce these commercials and they put them on, and then they run 10 million times till whatever they're selling, you're so sick of it that you're ready not to buy whatever the hell they're selling. Joe Biden might think about that because he's dominated the airwaves here in Pennsylvania, and I'm hoping people see that the way I see it. Oh, good, another Biden commercial. I'm hoping that's what they're thinking. But here comes on a cute little cat. This woman walks through the door of her house, and there's a cat sitting on the stairway. And now, I got 4 cats, so I like cats. So it's like, oh, cute little cat commercial. Oh, okay. I'll watch the cute little cat commercial. And the cat sat there, and the woman's staring at the cat, and the cat won't let her by go up the steps. And the cat sits there and goes, meow. And she goes, oh, yes, you're right. And she whips out her mask. And I'm like, no! They've got the cute little cats now trying to mask me up. They're breaking cats into their communist conspiracy that masks somehow stop this virus. That's another thing. They were busting the president's balls because he took a trip around the hospital in his little caravan. Oh my God, I thought, but they were all wearing masks in the vehicle. I mean, they're all wearing masks. So I don't understand it. You're telling me that the masks don't work all of a sudden? Shazam. I don't know. The whole thing's just, I'm sick of it. I'm just fucking sick of it. And anyway, you didn't come here to hear me bitch. You want to hear who's going to win the Monday night game. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, just because I'm bored and I'm, irritable, the Packers are going to win. So, and cover. But let's do the recap, and then maybe I'll talk about that some more. Well, BYU, they just keep rocking. I was sad that I didn't have, I thought I had 3 stars on that, but I didn't. BYU, they just keep covering every number in sight. This one went kind of sadly the way I thought it might, where the bad coach who gets a hard on playing his former employer. You know, he huffed and puffed there in the 4th quarter when it was out of reach and kept the game close, so that sucked. I don't know what happened here. I didn't see a minute of that game. East Carolina didn't fire at all. Georgia State kicked their ass. This one could have gone either way. This one into overtime. Yeah, my thought there is Baylor is a bad quarterback, and it's like nothing new. This guy's been around forever, Charlie Brewer, and the dude just sucks. That's kind of what my thought was, that they had every opportunity in the world to win this game, and they just couldn't get it done. This one never fired. Pitt is just, Pitt's Pitt. I do not understand why my model keeps spitting out Pitt. I gotta figure it, and Texas, I gotta figure that out. Why these two keep getting spit out. Texas is just, I don't know. That's one of those teams that'll look so good one week and then the next week just looks like shit. I can't really get too upset because, I'm an Urban Meyer guy, and Tom Herman, Submarine Meyer, there got him fired at Ohio State. So if Tom Herman fails in Texas, smallest violin in the world playing for him. This is another L. All the early games were just complete goddamn disaster. I don't know what happened there. Houston Baptist, this was a W, if you care there. We lost this by half a point. There it is, half a point. The Cincinnati covered, or I should say won, did not cover, won 28-7, and I thought, half a point, at half a point, and sure enough, that came into play. Lost, North Carolina could not get it done. SMU breaking the streak, beating Memphis. And then, this is, again, I'm just so sick of this world we live in. SMU breaks a streak against the rival Memphis. They haven't beaten these guys in about 5, 6, 7 years. And what's the news on ESPN? That at halftime, the Texas authorities made all the SMU students go home because they weren't wearing masks. Kansas State gets it done over Texas Tech. That was a winner. Felt good about that. This was our only top play that won. I think we were 1 and 2 in top plays. I'm going to give more credit here to Les Miles than I am Mike Gundy. Les Miles, I think, is pretty safe to bet against. Whatever he's doing out there in Kansas isn't working. So they got blown out. Oklahoma State gets a cover. Good for Nick Saban getting back in the winning column. That's kind of what I hoped, that he would go ahead and just keep the foot to the floorboard. Foot to the floorboard, that's what I'm trying to say. And keep the heat on Texas A&M, and he did. He scored 50-some. That was enough. Top play, loss. Virginia Tech won the game by 7, which is not 12. See, this model, I think, is what it does is it'll see a game like when Virginia Tech beat the living shit out of North Carolina State, and then it sets up both games the next week. It'll say, all right, they beat the shit out of them, so we'll take Virginia Tech the next week, and we'll fade North Carolina State. Well, let's set up 2 losers. So I'm not sure what happened there. Sometimes, it seems very simplistic. So, you just bet the team that did real well and play them again and play against the team that got beat up. Yeah, maybe it's not working. I don't know. So I don't know. We were happy with this one. W there. Lane Kiffin wins the game outright. So that was a good one. This was a good one. Air Force wins the game outright as a 7-point dog over Navy. I don't know what happened here. Monroe's been the worst team in Division I, and they just decided to play this weekend, and won close. Well, they won by 5, not 20. Or was Southern beaten by 5, not 20. Oh, this was a good one. Once we got past this 1 o'clock disaster, we did okay. Oklahoma losing again at Ames, Iowa. Ames, Iowa. Yep, Iowa State gets the win outright at home. So that was a good one. UCF, whatever, they might just be. Sometimes these teams, they get that once-in-a-generation coach that makes them great. And then the coach leaves. And then, the team will kind of hang on for another couple seasons. But then they're slowly reverting back to who they were before the super coach got there. And that might be happening here at UCF, where Scott Frost came in there, won the national championship, to hear them tell it, in 2017. And now they've been slowly reverting back to what they were prior to Frost arriving. They just, did not get it done at all here. Honestly, I don't remember I guess my mind just kind of shut off when I saw they weren't going to cover. I think they lost outright. Not that it really matters, but we'll double check that one. But it's definitely an L for us. Kirby Smart gets it done. Winning easily over Auburn. Good for him. Orgeron bounces back. Pounding Vanderbilt. So that was interesting. I guess Mississippi State, they won the belt, beating the defending champion LSU, and then they turn right around and dump to Arkansas. Ronnie Garvin held the belt longer than Mississippi State did. So now Arkansas has the belt. The belt could get passed around here. Some teams that would never have a chance at the belt could end up with it. I don't know who Arkansas plays this week. They probably play somebody like Alabama. There you go. Belt went right back to Ric Flair. But we'll see. Have to see there. I have no idea how Rick Leach, that ain't right. Mike Leach, I don't know how he lost that game. There was a Rick Leach, wasn't there? Didn't he play quarterback at Michigan? See, that's what old people do. They get names mixed up. They can't remember. We can't remember first names worth shit. So that's what happens. You'll just have to put up with it. Southern Miss, they got it done. That 30-year-old coach, his name completely escapes me. But for our purposes, he'll be the 30-year-old coach of Southern Miss. He gets his first win. Good for him. And then I don't know what Dabo's doing. He's just screwing around. I don't know if we read that as Virginia's half decent. They lost, or I should say Virginia lost to Clemson, but only 41-23, which was more than enough to cover. So, is Clemson not as good? Is Trevor Lawrence wrapped up in social issues and is not paying attention? Is he thinking about his NFL career? They play Miami this week, so we got a pretty good schedule coming up this week. Although one thing I saw that disappointed me was there was a really good game and then on Wednesday, Appy State against Louisiana Lafayette, and it's canceled. It's like, son of a bitch. Again, hate this goddamn year. Jesus. All right, let's do the NFL. Pretty good Sunday for us. I have no idea why I didn't make this a top play. The Colts and the Bears. I know Nick Foles. I know him pretty well. And if he doesn't have the Eagle green on, he's just another guy. And he got the start, and just the Colts handled him, just easily handled him. So that was a W. Don't know what happened here. This was a loss. Minshew doesn't fire. Joe Burrow looks like he's the real deal. So, kind of looks like the Bengals are, that could be a live dog here. I still think maybe the Bengals are a little, that's going to be one of them public underdogs when they go up against a really good team. So I'd be a little beware there. Happy to get our top play in the NFL. So we're 1-0 here. 1-0 as my good friend Mike Zimmer gets it done over Bill O'Brien. I would expect that they're talking about canning O'Brien in Houston, but, they're probably not. They should be, but they're probably not. This was a mistake. We've had a couple losses now where we faded the Seahawks, and that's probably just a fool's errand. It's just, I think I have personal animus towards Pete Carroll, and that's what maybe screws us up a little bit. But the Seahawks are just really good. It'll be, I think, between them and the Packers as to who's in the Super Bowl. The Seahawks covered this game relatively easily, so that was a mistake. The Buccaneers. Perhaps we got lucky here. Now, we'll step over here to block the sun so you can see. We have this at 6.5, and I'm keeping this. I did my handicapping in the middle of the week. I put the video up on Friday, and I double-checked before we came out here. One of my books, Heritage, had this at 6.5 all day Friday into Saturday morning. So most of you might have gotten it at 7. God forbid some at 7.5. But the Bucs win by a touchdown, 38-31. So that's a W. Maybe we got a little lucky because the Chargers were way ahead in this game. But the Chargers do shit. Bad teams do bad things. They fumble the freaking ball with 30 seconds to go on their own 10-yard line and gift wrap a touchdown for the Buccaneers. Bad teams do shit like that. So we're keeping that. That's a W. The Giants, they pretty much as we hoped, kind of mucked it up and kept it close and did enough to cover there against the Rams. The Bills are much better than we think, I believe. Two things happened here. One, we didn't think the Bills were as good as they are. And we think the Raiders are better than they are. At the end of the day, the Raiders are the Raiders. I mean, Raiders gonna Raider. That's a team that's been improving for 20 years and they never get any better. It's like goddamn Texas. And so we made a mistake there. John Gruden's just a so coach. He's just so. This is a guy whose legend grew. Every year he was unemployed doing Corona commercials. And we're the W's, John. You should be in the playoffs by now. But, Derek Carr, quarterback, he's just okay. For every game like he had against the Saints, he'll have one like this where he turns a ball over in critical situations and they lose. So that was my mistake. What about the Philadelphia Eagles first place? I guess if you told me 1/4 of the way through the season the Philadelphia Eagles would be in first place, I would have said, yeah, good, all right. I was wrong. I thought this team would be up the track this year. Good. They're 1-2-1 and they're in first place. Kudos to Mark. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's joins me once in a blue moon here on NFL videos. My brother. Some people have affectionately called him a moron or an idiot. Well, he picks his spots. I tell you what, he bet $100 on the money line last night and won. plus 345. So good for him. That'll pay for Shannon Kimes' box of cigars. Every year he bets this guy Shannon, not his real name, and says the Eagles are going to win like 13 games, and of course they never do. And I don't think he's ever won one of these bets once. Every year he has to pay buy this guy Shannon a box of cigars, and so he'll have to buy another box this year, but he'll be able to pay for it now with his big money line win last night on the Eagles, defeating the 49ers outright. So there you have that. So yeah, good. I mean, really, I guess if I was going to try to spin our scoreboard as anything worth looking at, I guess in the NFL we're doing okay with our best picks. The rest is pretty shitty. But yeah, let's look here. The rest of it, let's spin. That's what we do, right, in this country. We'll pick out the facts that favor us and try to trump them up and depress the ones that don't favor us. Oh, what's left? Oh, the Monday night game. All right. So, like I said, the Packers. I don't know. Tell me how I'm wrong here. I'm missing this. I don't understand. I know the Packers are playing the Buccaneers next, and they're coming off a big, big win at New Orleans on, was it Monday Night Football? Sunday Night Football. Sunday night, I guess. Once they started playing that Sunday night game, it really cheapened the Monday night game. Now it's kind of like the biggest game is the Sunday night game, isn't it? I guess your mileage may vary. At any rate, coming off big win over the Saints, Buccaneers up next, but they have a bye week in between. They have a bye week next. So I just don't see them looking ahead to Tom Brady. I still see them kind of like, okay, first 4 games, and then a break, and man, we've won 3 and we got 1 left. Let's not step on our dicks now. We got 1 left, and we'll go into the break feeling 10 feet tall, and we can rest, we can take a few days off, and then get back to getting ready for Tom Brady. I don't see them looking ahead here. The Falcons are, they're you are what your record says you are. I'm sure if you look at the stats, they probably have all kind of great offensive stats. Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and Matt Ryan. But they find ways to lose. This team. They're pretty good up at Green Bay, surprisingly enough. But I just can't see it any other way than the Packers here. The Packers got injury issues, but then so do the Falcons. So we're going to take the Packers. I don't think anyone ever went broke feeding Dan Quinn, coach of the Falcons. So that's what we're going to recommend there. Take the Packers. Welcome to, and testing my memory here. I looked it up. Our 38th subscriber, I believe, is Brian Lester. Salute to Mr. Lester. Thanks for joining us. Rome wasn't built in a day, 1 subscriber at a time. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. We'll have, I guess, the college slate done by Thursday. Probably have half of it to you done by Wednesday, I imagine, and then we'll have the NFL to you by Friday. Try to think what else is out there. The MLB's now getting into their swing, now that we've gotten rid of the pretenders and we're into the final 8. So maybe we'll make a video once in a while just for something to do to fill out baseball, possibly. We suck at baseball. What else? The NBA, almost an afterthought. I guess Jimmy Butler came through and kept it a series. It's now 2-1, Lakers over Miami. I didn't watch 1 minute of it. I have more friends that have more conspiracy theories. Believe it or not, I have friends that have more conspiracy theories than I have. You may find that hard to believe. But they always seem to center around the NBA. That seems to be the league that most people are the most suspicious about. Perhaps well-founded. Who is the Tim Donaghy in the NFL? Who's the Tim Donaghy of the NHL? You have a ref throwing games, and the NBA covers it up. Yes, the NBA there's hard evidence that the NBA has been fixed in the past. So, if you were on a conspiracy theory, you might think they're going to stretch this series out a little bit. That they don't want, probably the worst case scenario for these guys is a 4-game LeBron sweep. For a gentleman's sweep, that's just almost as bad, 4-1. So, yeah, I could kind of see this one stretching out into 6 games. It's going to be hard, considering the injuries Miami has. But I could see somehow magically this series stretching into 6 games. Anyway, so that's what we had there for you. We'll try to do better next weekend. Like I said, I'm a little discouraged with the college. That I think we should be doing better. I'm a little discouraged there. I'm a little discouraged in general. But thanks for being here. We won't take up any more of your time. Have a good night. Let's go Packers. Enjoy your Monday Night Football game. From us to you. Us, again, talked in the third person. There's no us. It's me. From me to you. Good luck, good gambling, and good afternoon.